The Australian Shepherd is an incredible breed. They're one of my favourite breeds to train and one of the most trainable breeds on the planet. And in today's video, I'm going to hand you over to one of my breed history experts who's going to talk about some incredible facts about the Australian Shepherd that you probably don't know.
Number one, they're not Australian. Perhaps the most striking part about the name Australian Shepherd is that only half of it is accurate. They are shepherds. They herd better than almost any other breed in the world, rivaled only by the Border Collie, whose genes are likely alive in the Aussie anyway. The Australian Shepherd is an absolutely American development, with influences from all over the globe. The conquistadors, and later the Basques, likely brought their own herding dogs, both Spanish natives, to the Americas in the 16th century and beyond. Later, when Australians began to migrate to the US in the 19th century, and when their sheep were imported too, some more dogs who came from British collie stock found their way over. Because they'd come most recently from Australia, they gained the misnomer of a title, the Australian Shepherd. And even though we know better now, 200 years later, the name has stuck. Because of their popularity, 12th most popular breed in America, according to the AKC, it would be impossible to change their name now. To quote my main man Shakespeare, "A rose by any other name would smell as sweet, but it's too late to change the name of the Aussie Shepherd." He was breathtakingly prescient, wasn't he? Number two, they're quite new to the party. As I intimated a minute ago, the Australian Shepherd has not always been a popular breed. Indeed, in the UK, it still isn't. In the US, whilst it has rocketed up to 12th place in popularity in the last 30 years, it was only recognised by the AKC as a breed in 1991. That is, at least for me and any of my other fellow millennials, within our lifetimes. Compare this with, say, the Tibetan Mastiff, who was likely roaming the earth in one form or another about 5,000 years ago. And you get to see just how incredibly recently the Aussie has come into being, and at least into recognition. Most dogs have ancestors who can be traced back to a type, if not a recognised breed, for at least 100 years. And it was not until the mid-19th century that the advent of dog shows that aesthetically and temperamentally stable breeds were even a concept most people recognised. Even in that context, the Aussie is a new kid on the block when it comes to pinpointing the place in time where they became something distinct from the other herding dogs much like them in the world. Given their steady popularity increase over the last few decades, however, it seems likely that they will be a well-loved dog for years to come, and are probably not just a recent trend in dog breed obsession. Number three, they are prone to Heterochromia Iridis. Don't panic. Is not some fatal wasting disease. Heterochromia Iridis is a genetically inherited eye condition which actually has some beautiful results. With hetero meaning different, chromia meaning colour, and iridis referring to the irises of your eyes, the coloured part around the pupil, we have a name that literally means two different eye colours. Found in collies, huskies, and Great Danes, among others, this condition is usually entirely harmless if the dog is born with it by chance and not by design. It doesn't make them ill and it doesn't affect their vision, it's just beautiful and unusual. The only time you may wish to pay some attention is if a dog's eye changes colour later in life, as this is often a sign of something quite serious, including blindness. Providing your breeder isn't deliberately limiting the genetic diversity of their progeny by selectively breeding for heterochromia, there is nothing to worry about, and instead you can marvel at and show off your beautiful, if asymmetrical pup to your heart's content. I do urge you, however, not to select a dog based on something as inconsequential as eye colour. I'm sure you're aware of this already, but it would be remiss of me to omit. The eye colour won't matter to you if your dog is extremely anxious or aggressive or has come to you with a lifelong neurological disorder. Look beyond those beautiful eyes.
So guys, if you love the Australian Shepherd as much as we do here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We make videos like this every single week to help ensure that you have the Australian Shepherd that you've always dreamed of. And we cannot wait to see you on the next episode.